How's it going, everybody? My name is Jesse, and I am back for another comic book video list. Now, I did take a little bit of a hiatus, but I am back, and I'm ready to start with a brand new subject matter. I am going to start with Marvel teams. Now, sometimes a threat is just too big to be handled by one individual, or too much to be handled by even a team-up. When that happens, a team is the most essential. So we're going to start off this list with my list for Marvel's top 10 superhero teams. For number 10 on this list, we're going to go back a long ways to the beginning of Marvel, before they were even called Marvel comic books, when they were still Timely Comics. Now, Timely Comics did become Marvel, and a lot of the people from this first group are even fan favorites still today of Marvel comic books. So let's start off with number 10. Coming in at number 10 is the All-Winter Squad, which first appeared in the All-Winners comic books back in 1946 with the publication of Timely Comics. Now, they had members such as Captain America, Namor, and the original Human Torch, Jim Hammond. And in the 70s, there was a comic book line known as the Invaders, which you might be more familiar with. It was the Invaders talking about how they were fighting the axis of evil back in World War II, which they originally did back as the All-Winter Squadron before they were later renamed as the Invaders. And now for number 9 and number 8. And I find both of these groups extremely intriguing, and I have a lot of their comic books. I've read a lot about these. Both of these teams are not American-based teams, and you'll see what I mean when we do these two. So here is number 9 and number 8. And now we go to our neighbor to the north, Canada, with their team at number 9, Alpha Flight, which first appeared in the XMen comic book back in 1979. The Alpha Flight was created under their government's Department H, which had members such as Box, Puck, and Vindicator. Wolverine was actually part of Department H for a while, since he is Canadian, but he later went and joined the X-Men. Now we go across the pond for number 8 with Excalibur. Now, Excalibur, some people think that they are the X-Men's, or Britain's X-Men. I mean, they did have a lot of X-Men members, such as Kurt Wagner, Nightcrawler, Rachel Summers, Phoenix, and Kitty Pryde, Shadowcat. But they were their own organization. Just because they had mutants didn't mean that they were the X-Men of Great Britain. They were England's superheroes for the longest time. Now, number 7 and number 6 were teams formed by convenience more than anything else. And the interesting thing is, number 7, while being a team, considers themselves not a team, while number 6 definitely defines himself as a team. You'll see what I mean. And now we come up to the Defenders. First appeared in 1971. Now, the Defenders did originally consist of Doctor Strange, Hulk, and Namor, but none of them considered themselves as a team. They were a non-team forced to work together. Most people know the Defenders as Doctor Strange, Hulk, Namor, and Silver Surfer, but Silver Surfer would not join the comics until a later date. Now, the New Warriors would first appear as a team in Thor 411, 1989, before they got their own comic book in 1990. The original New Warriors consisted of Marvel Boy, Nova, Namorita, Night Thrasher, Firestar, and Speedball. They originally helped Thor take on the Juggernaut. And now for number 5 and number 4. Not only are these two teams not based in America, they're not even based on the planet Earth. And if you haven't guessed who they are by now, I'll go ahead and tell you. So here comes number 5 and number 4. Number 5 is the Nova Corps. They would actually first appear as a cameo in Fantastic Four number 204, but then have their first featured appearance in Fantastic Four 205, both in 1979. The Nova Corps has been featured many times throughout the years, consisting of different people. In the Annihilation War, the Nova Corps was all but destroyed except for Rich Rider, which he would later try to restore the Nova Corps after that. Now, number 4 is Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, most people know Guardians of the Galaxy from the Guardians movie with Star-Lord, Peter Quill, Rocket Raccoon, Groot, Gamora, the most dangerous woman in the universe, and Drax the Destroyer. The original Guardians of the Galaxy, which came out in 1969, was actually Major Victory, known as Vast Astro, which his name was originally Vast Astrovic, Charlie 27, Matrix, and Yondu, which was the last of each one of their species after the Bardoon, an alien lizard-type race, took over the entire solar system, and they banded together to fight them, and they would call themselves the Guardians of the Galaxy. And now for the last 3 teams on this list. Now you could juggle around number 3 and number 2. Where these two teams fall, and doesn't matter if it's number 3 or number 2. Either one of them could have taken the slot. But there is no mistaking who is number 1. So let's go over the next 3 to complete my list of the top 10. The X-Men. Number 3, a group of mutant-formed superhero team. Under the leadership of Professor X, Charles Xavier, Cyclops, Scott Summers, Iceman, Bobby Drake, Beast, Dr. Henry McCoy, Angel, Warren Worthington III, and Marvel Girl Jean Grey was, like I said, a team of mutants who was always trying to ease mutant-human relationships because the mutants were viewed as outcasts, and they were always trying to bring them together to show that, even though we have powers, we're still, basically human. Coming in at number 2, the Fantastic Four. Mr. Fantastic, Dr. Reed Richards. The Invisible Woman, Sue Storm Richards. The Human Torch, Johnny Storm. And the Thing, Ben Grimm, were all regular people before they got bombarded with the cosmic rays that turned them into the Fantastic Four. Now, they do most of the battle of the extra-dimensional stuff and some of the big bads that you wouldn't want to touch with a 10-foot pole, like Galactus, Annihilus, and Ballstar, among many others. And I don't think it's a surprise who number 1 on this list is. Almost every superhero and a couple of supervillains have been a member of the Avengers team. The original Avengers: Hulk, Dr. Bruce Banner, Iron Man, Tony Stark, Ant-Man, Dr. Henry Pym, the Wasp, Janet Van Dyne, and Thor, who was at the time was Donald Blake, formed together to stop Thor's evil half-brother Loki. And since, almost everybody has become an Avenger, this definitely makes them number 1 on my list. Well, I hope you like my top 10 list of the top 10 Marvel superheroes. As always, I enjoy making them. If you did like it, go ahead and give that like button a click. If you like what I'm doing here and you'd like to see more of my videos or stuff that I've already done, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to leave a comment, you can do so in the comment section or on my Facebook page. I'll leave the information in the credits. You can also check out my Tumblr page, which, since my hiatus is over, I will be updating every Sunday. And I will also leave that information in the credits. So until next time, I'll see you.